Hey, welcome to Gloom Ghouls, your daily dose of adrenaline. Today's story will chill you to the core, so buckle up and let's dive in. What if your warnings to save lives were actually exposing your darkest truths? Meet Evelyn Ward, a meticulous librarian in a sleepy small town, whose life is built on the quiet hum of order. During the day, she moves through the library's hushed aisles with the grace of someone who has made herself at home among the pages of old novels and neatly categorized archives. The library is Evelyn's sanctuary, a haven where the world becomes as manageable as an alphabetized bookshelf. The sunlight filtering through its tall windows feels like a protective barrier, warding off the chaos outside. At night, she retreats into her small apartment, quiet and predictable. Its sparse decor, a reflection of the control she has so carefully crafted over her space and life. To the townsfolk, Evelyn seems like any ordinary introvert, kind, if a little distant, intelligent, but unassuming in demeanor. Yet beneath the surface lies a chasm of unease, a fear so carefully sublimated that even Evelyn herself barely acknowledges its existence. The order she holds onto with such tenacity is not just a preference. It's a shield against the creeping chaos of a world she is desperate to keep at bay. But chaos has a way of seeping into the cracks, and something begins to disrupt the fortress she's built, a secret buried so deep that when it starts revealing itself, Evelyn isn't sure whether to confront it or continue running from it. The meticulously ordered rows of bookshelves no longer feel steady, her sanctuary shadowed by something intangible. A whisper, a warning, a disruption to the life she thought she controlled. It starts with an innocuous finding, a note, handwritten and fragile, tucked amidst the pages of a dusty, overlooked novel on an out-of-the-way library shelf. 11:45 p.m., the old train station. He falls. At first, Evelyn dismisses it, smiling faintly at what she assumes to be the lingering mischief of a bored teenager. Perhaps it is a mysterious romantic hint, or simply the remnants of an unfinished creative collaboration. Yet there is something peculiar about the way the note feels in her hands, the scrawled ink pressing just deeply enough into the paper to suggest urgency. She sets it aside, but its words linger in the corners of her mind, resurfacing as she locks up the library that evening. Then comes another. 7:30 p.m., the playground swings. She screams. Short, clipped phrases, each more chilling and strange than the last. They are unsettling not only in their starkness, but in their specificity. He falls. She screams. The notes whisper of events so vividly outlined that Evelyn finds herself unable to entirely ignore the possibilities they conjure. Her initial dismissal gives way to curiosity and finally to a hesitant horror as the connections become undeniable. Local news headlines report a man's accidental fall at the old train station at precisely 11:45 p.m. Evelyn feels a knot tighten in her chest as she recalls the note. Then comes the next story. A parent reports hearing a young girl scream near the playground, swings at 7:30 p.m. She wants to believe these are mere coincidences, random workings of chance, but deep down, she knows better. Whatever force is feeding her these warnings, it is deliberate, purposeful, malevolent. The notes are not just pointing to tragedies. They are foretelling them, pulling her deeper into a mystery she doesn't understand. The chilling revelations come far too close to home when one of the victims is someone Evelyn knows, a quiet but jovial library patron who had frequented her workplace for years. His familiarity, his kindness, are what make his death so unbearable. As the townspeople mourn, Evelyn finds herself grappling with a newfound, horrifying awareness. Someone is orchestrating these events. The notes are not loose predictions. They are instructions. And whoever is leaving them wants Evelyn involved, pulling her from the safety of her insulated life into a dangerous web of manipulation. The specificity of the note's placement gnaws at her, raising questions that chill her to the bone. How does the sender know where she will find them? Why place them only in the sanctuary of her beloved library? How deeply have they burrowed into her life to observe her so closely? Her sanctuary no longer feels like a refuge, but a trap. Unease gives way to determination. She knows she has to act before another name appears in the headlines. Summoning courage she didn't know she possessed, Evelyn clutches the latest note, a cryptic warning of another impending tragedy, and brings it to Detective Lucas Hayes. Known in the town for his no-nonsense pragmatism and unyielding focus, Lucas is a figure both reassuring and unsettling. As she places the notes before him, tremors reveal her mounting anxiety. His skeptical gaze feels like a weight pressing down on her confession. "How do I know these aren't yours?" he asks matter-of-factly, his tone a chilling mixture of suspicion and doubt. The words cut deeper than she expects, and for a moment Evelyn falters. But she presses on, her desperation growing. These notes are real. The danger is real, but convincing Lucas may be the hardest battle of all. An unlikely partnership begins to form, its foundation built on tension and mutual wariness. Evelyn, desperate to prevent further tragedies, finds herself at odds with Lucas's methodical skepticism. He approaches the situation like a puzzle to solve, while she perceives it as a crisis demanding immediate action. "Why you?" Lucas finally asks, voicing the question that has haunted her for weeks. Why would someone target a quiet librarian in a small town? Evelyn doesn't have an answer. She wishes she could brush it aside as random happenstance, but the details are too precise. Unsettling inconsistencies in her own life begin to surface. Fragmented memories flash through her mind, nights where she can't account for the missing hours, moments of restlessness that feel like more than simple insomnia. A kitchen knife she doesn't remember moving sits slightly out of place one morning, and those faint, muddy footprints by her front door. Hadn't it been dry that day? As Lucas digs deeper, his interrogations become sharper. At times, Evelyn feels less like a victim and more like a suspect. Yet she begins to question herself as well. Could she be connected to the crimes in ways she doesn't understand? Her thoughts spiral, the fragmented pieces of her memory refusing to align into any coherent picture. Meanwhile, Lucas isn't immune to doubt either. His initial suspicion of Evelyn softens as he delves deeper into the mystery. There's sincerity in her terror, an authenticity that's hard to fake. Together, they begin attempting to connect the dots, even as an unspoken tension lingers between them. Each discovery brings them closer to an unsettling possibility. Evelyn's role in this horrific chain of events might be more active than either of them dares to admit. Thanks for watching Gloom Ghouls, your daily dose of adrenaline. Till next time, stay safe and question the shadows. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to never miss an episode. Your support keeps the chills coming.